Blake was a young kid, and he had a big future.
Now at 5, a Delaware County Sheriff's deputy killed in the line of duty. The investigation into the crash that took his life. And a look at how his fellow deputies, the community, and those who knew him are remembering him tonight.
Ending the government shutdown, the vote that's expected at any moment now in Washington, D.C. Ahead, why it's not going to fix everything immediately if it does pass. Angela?
Anne-Marie, as expected, weather pattern is warming up, and there's still a day in the 70s in the 7-day forecast. I'll have a look ahead. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
Tonight, the family of a fallen Delaware County Sheriff's deputy killed in the line of duty is honoring his life.
These are pictures that show him with his wife on their wedding day, which was just this past June. This morning, just months later, 31-year-old Corporal Blake Reynolds died. This after a semi-truck driver crashed into his patrol car while he was out along I-69 near Gaston helping a stranded driver. And as a result of that incident that occurred just this morning, there tonight are still so many questions to be answered about what happened in that semi, the key moments before the crash.
So we have live team coverage for you tonight as this investigation begins. Emily Longnecker will share how the community and those who knew Deputy Reynolds are remembering him.
And we kick off our comprehensive team coverage tonight with our Ashton Hackman joining us live in Muncie tonight with the very latest about what we know right now about what happened. Ashton.
Anne-Marie and Felicia, this investigation, it's still in its very early stages, and within just the last 30 minutes, Indiana State Police confirmed the name of the driver whose semi crashed into that patrol car as 39-year-old Teddy Johnson. Now, keep in mind, police are still trying to figure out what exactly led up to that and why they think Johnson's semi did crash. Investigators say Reynolds parked his patrol car behind a semi he'd stopped to help. They think Johnson's semi lost control and crashed into both vehicles. Reynolds was outside his squad car and was hit. First responders, of course, rushed to that scene to try to save him, but unfortunately he later died at a Muncie hospital. Johnson was flown to Indianapolis for surgery, and we are waiting for an update on his condition. This crash closed all of the northbound lanes of I-69 for several hours as investigators collected evidence. The road fully reopened this afternoon around 1, and tonight fellow deputies say they are heartbroken, remembering Reynolds as a leader and friend.
It's hard when you lose one of your own, especially when you oversee a department, and our department's young, and Blake was a young kid, and he had a big future. It's hard shoes to fill.
A police procession escorted Reynolds' body from the hospital to a local funeral home. Community members lined the streets here in Muncie to pay their respects. And the Delaware County Sheriff's Office tells us they expect to release funeral arrangements and information on Corporal Reynolds' funeral at a later date. For now, Anne-Marie and Felicia, fellow deputies, they are beginning to remember and honor him while also protecting and embracing one another and also supporting Reynolds' family.
Yeah, so many emotions they're trying to process through right now. Ashton Hackman reporting live for us. Thank you.
And the Delaware County community started showing up in support of Corporal Reynolds and his department shortly after learning news of his death.
And that's why we sent our Emily Longnecker up to Muncie. She joins us now after spending the day there learning how the community and others now are choosing to remember, honor, and celebrate this deputy. Emily.
Well, Anna and Felicia, members of the Delaware County community coming here to the Sheriff's Department tonight to lay flowers and memento on this patrol car. Just a few mementos right now. This is actually not Corporal Reynolds' patrol car. That was badly damaged this morning, but this is a car like it where people can come and take some time and remember him.
Those tributes have already started. This was the procession this morning, escorting Corporal Reynolds' body from IU Ball Memorial Hospital. Hours later, the Delaware County Board of Commissioners met and passed an emergency resolution ordering all flags at county, municipal, and public safety buildings in Delaware County to be lowered to half-staff. Those flags will stay that way until sunset, the day after Corporal Reynolds' funeral. The Board of Commissioners is encouraging residents and local businesses here in Delaware County to do the same with their flags.
He was out doing what he loved to do. He was on midnight shift, of course, and he's out doing what he loved to do. And sad. It's very sad.
We know Corporal Reynolds served this community for the past 4 years on the Delaware County Sheriff's Department and was also with the Army Reserve.
And the Sheriff's Department describes Corporal Reynolds as a true leader, someone who was rising within the ranks because of those leadership abilities. We know, as you said, that he just was married this past June to his wife, Allison. The Sheriff's Department asking this community to pray for Corporal Reynolds' family and also to pray for his law enforcement family, specifically a lot of the deputies who were working with him on that overnight shift. This entire community just in mourning, and you saw that today during that procession. That mourning will absolutely be continuing in the coming hours and days as community members come here to pay their respects, and we see those flags all over Delaware County lowered to half-staff. Ann, Felicia?
Emily, thank you so much for reporting from Muncie this evening. Certainly everyone processing and trying to just understand how to move forward.
Yeah, and so many people are reaching out, sharing their condolences. In fact, we're hearing from state and local leaders after this incident today.
Governor Mike Braun issued this statement here saying, quote, "Deeply saddening news out of Delaware County today. A deputy lost his life today in the line of duty while serving a stranded motorist. Maureen and I are praying for his loved ones and all who wear the badge across Indiana." And there are even more responses we have received in response to Corporal Reynolds' death. We actually placed them on our website.
All they're organized for you to read, and that's also the place where we're going to keep you updated with information about the memorial services, the investigation, and all that you need to know about this incident in the days and the weeks to come. WTHR.com.
And right now, the U.S. House of Representatives is preparing to vote on a bill which would end the government shutdown. You're looking live right now at the House floor, where representatives arrived about an hour ago. We're currently in the middle of the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. It's been going on now for 43 days. And the vote will likely be tight, but Republicans do expect it to pass. However, it's not a done deal. President Trump has said he will sign it into law if passed. But even if the shutdown ends tonight, flights will still be canceled or delayed until airlines can get back up and running at capacity. And then there are also questions about whether the shutdown could restore SNAP funding immediately or if it would take some time.
People are starving out here, and they don't need to be starving. They really don't. This is America. America.
If passed, the deal would fund SNAP through next September. And right now, many Hoosiers on SNAP are getting paid partial benefits. One group tells us situations like this can lead to obstacles when it comes to helping people in need.
We talked to people today at Sheltering Wings. That is a domestic violence shelter here in central Indiana, and they talked with our Ella Rhodes about why this causes additional obstacles. Ella.
Yeah, Anna and Felicia, it is a really difficult situation, as you know. So both the shelter and a domestic violence survivor says a lot of people feel stuck because their abuser tends to be the main provider for resources like food. Now, we do want to warn you that this story does discuss domestic violence. And for the safety of the victim we spoke with, we won't show her face or say her name. Now, Sheltering Wings says 90% of its clients are low to no income families, a lot of which use SNAP. The shelter's executive director says with the limited access to food and the strain on food pantries right now, people are less likely to leave their abusive relationship in fear of losing food resources. Now, at the moment, Sheltering Wings spends $1,000 a week to support food needs for families in their program. A survivor and single mom says no one should feel stuck when it comes to accessing resources over their safety.
Because I want them to have confidence and know that they can go to Sheltering Wings and not feel trapped in an abusive situation just because of the resources right now.
Sheltering Wings says during uncertain times, instances of abuse do tend to rise. Now, you can find domestic violence resources and more on the story at WTHR.com.
Yeah, certainly. Thank you for sharing the impact of this.
Thank you, Ella. Let's give you another live look right now as we look live in Washington, D.C. As you can see, this is debate going on right now at the U.S. House floor.
As we said earlier, they're preparing to vote on a bill to reopen the government. We're going to take you back live as it's happening during this newscast to let you know the results, so stay with us. We're going to keep monitoring this for you. Angela.
Felicia, as expected, much warmer today. In fact, the 24-hour temperature change on the positive side, about 15 degrees. We're up 15 in Indianapolis, 16 warmer in Shelbyville and Richmond, and 18 warmer in Bedford. That means temperatures right now in the 50s under a mainly clear sky. 51 Morse Reservoir, 55 Bainbridge, and 58 degrees right now in Greensburg. Evening temperatures will drop quickly under those clear skies. Once the sun sets at 5:32, we're going to drop through the 40s. Heavy coat weather again tomorrow morning. Nothing weather-wise to slow you down for that Thursday morning drive. Morning temperatures in the 30s, but from there, with some sunshine, mild again. Highs tomorrow in the upper 50s, nearing 60.
Thank you, Angela. Anew tonight, our 13 Investigates team confirmed a mom accused of killing her baby girl is no longer headed to trial.
This is a case that our 13 Investigates reporter Sierra Putman has been covering for years now, and she joins us now live in studio. Sierra.
Harmony Jones's family has been searching for justice for almost 3 years, and today the court canceled her mother's trial, and now a change of plea hearing is scheduled for December. This is baby Harmony Jones. A caller reported the 7-month-old was unresponsive back in January 2023. Police and paramedics found her in this Indianapolis apartment building. The Marion County Coroner's Office said Harmony died from blunt force trauma to the torso, and 13 Investigates learned only 5 other people were in the house at the time: Harmony's twin and 4 adults. A grand jury later indicted her mother, Jada Stiles, on 1 count of aggravated battery, a level 1 felony. She's the only adult facing charges. Stiles' trial was set to begin this upcoming Monday, but that all changed today. The plea hearing is now scheduled for December 5th, and of course, I plan to attend.
Sierra, thank you for that update. And now to a developing story. Tonight, a woman now under arrest in the death of a man on the Near East Side of Indianapolis. This is a story we first brought you Tuesday here on 13 News. The Marion County coroner now tells us 27-year-old Carl Stevenson IV is the person who died in the shooting. This went down near South Sherman Drive and East English Avenue. IMPD telling us the woman is now facing a preliminary charge of murder.
And a head on trial accused of murdering a state police trooper.
We have the opening statements made in that case today surrounding the death of Trooper Aaron Smith. That happened in Hendricks County. That coverage ahead for you here at 5:30.
First at 5.
Bobcat trapping season is officially underway in Indiana. So how does it work and why are we doing it now? I'm Samantha Johnson. We'll break it down for you. Still ahead.